Hello. I don't know if you could tell. I'm a little tired. It's still persisting anyway. Now. I actually just pasted that down. That's a separate issue entirely. I actually noticed something earlier that I completely missed, yesterday. Did anyone see it? Did anyone see it? Why? Duck. That is a very good question. Why is your train limit like that? Set train limit oil. Why did that work yesterday but not today? Train contents, retrain contents. Did I just spawn a second thing that I didn't even realize that was a thing? Hmm. I mean, I could change it to read stop train. It's just a little bit over allocated. A stop train B. That just means I need another set of these kajiggers. Arguably, I don't really need the separate wires now. A greater than 0. You are an oil train. Outputs fill of 1. Yep. Let's change this to B first, before I change the outputs. Output water. Excellent. So, you'll see, going back to the point at hand now, that I fixed that, this one consistently is a little bit behind. So we're at 386. You know, these are all full, these are all full. These are not. And so yeah, did you notice a little mistake that I made last time? We'll start from this side. 28 effect sources, 28 effect sources, 27 effect sources. It's seeing the beacon. Seeing the bloody beacon. Somehow I missed that. I thought I did them all too. Genuinely thought I did them all. Also, you get out of here. You get out of here. Okay, so they're gonna do the thing all over again. This is just cleaning up from tidying up from last time, because that's what we do. We always end up tidying up the accidents left over from last time. All right, clean out the oil. I mean, I suppose I could do it the lazy way and just cut, paste, undo, undo, and just delete it. Smart spells SMRT. Did lose the radar, which I also threw in afterwards as well. Go there. I threw down the radar afterwards. So yeah, this thing needed a little bit of breathing room. What the hell is going on there? Why is it doing things that way? I'm confused. Very. I know why. Yeah. It moved. It mysteriously moved slightly, and so it should actually be over there, and then up a tile, possibly 2. 1. We'll start with 1 and see how we do. Yes, we're continuing on with the smort. I suppose it doesn't matter. I deleted that beacon. I'm deleting it anyway. You can slide over there. Slide that one down one. Plop them there. Plop you there. Now it's 28. Just like the rest. Which in turn means all these trains can get going. Also, just get out of here. Get out of here. Okay, you're not plugged in. I knew that. Where I knew that. You're still not plugged in. Or plugged in, and you're plugged in. And most importantly, you're plugged in, followed closely by you're not plugged in. I didn't check any of this crap. Did I mention that I'm a little tired? Lay tired. I don't know if I made that clear. But in case it wasn't apparent, I'm tired. So there's going to be a lot of mistakes. There we go. So now should be actually even now. Still calling for because I didn't delete those. Okay. Never. It's not like it's been the thing that we do every time. Is basically fix mistakes every time. So moving swiftly along from that. What do I need? 9. Oh yeah, I also cleaned this up a little bit so they actually go down and around. That way they have more chance to choose the path. Also realize that this thing doesn't really give much of a path choice going this way, so I do need to fix that. Do have a laser eye kiwi to help. I suppose... Actually, yeah, you were here last time. Lucifer appears. Hello. That's much better. Yeah, tweak these numbers too. Yeah, 900. Dropped it down just a teeny tiny bit. Do you have the cargo? Yeah, I've got this is in the creative map, and I've set it up for the cargo wagons, the cargo trains. And yeah, being this is the full creative one, they're fully stonked. They are actually fully stonked on the main map as well. We were asleep. Just all none of it. So that explains it. The laser on Kiwi would have spotted that. That explains it. Now, the thing that we need to move on to was actually trying to avoid doing the oil. And I was like, I need to do it. Okay, Factorio Lab, do your twirly whirly. And tell me what I need to know. And also use up all my RAM. It uses like 2 gig of RAM. How much RAM is it using? Exist. Task Manager is struggling to load. 63% RAM. It's using a gigabyte. Asking dumb question. I know the pain. Heavy to light is 4.0 exactly. Light to... Oh no, heavy to light. Yeah, 35% comes from heavy to light. Light to gas is 13.6. That doesn't sound right. Surely it was less. I feel like that was less last time. Like 8 or something. Use the miss. Yeah, I offset them slightly with 2 train stops. To make it work. I didn't do it originally, and then the train pulled up wrong and was like, oh, I need to do the thing. I mean, I really need to actually do the circuit trains, and actually sit down and do some test builds, figure it out instead of just pushing on. But I can foresee some complications. I can see some complications in the air with circuit trains, which I'm kind of, for lack of a better term, kind of avoiding dealing with. that far apart. Yeah. But I'm sure it's not as much of a problem if I actually sat down and figured it out. Open up one of the stations if stuff is needed. After that, you send a train to pick up. I'm fairly certain it. As I say, I foresee some issues, but at the same time, I think I'm overcomplicating it. I suspect that's the answer. Now, so this is an unload that I'm trying to do. I'm gonna want unloady thingies. Actually, what I want is pretty much that. Pop that there. Except you are not, actually, yes you are. You are water unload. And you are heavy oil unload. With the heavy oil. Oh. A and B. So, it was Dan's chemical plant is what I want. So heavy to light. Some modules. Beacons. Beacons. Like that. Then we spit the juices out the top. Of course, it forces me to delete a bin. Let's compare. Real question. Very well. There we go. That's better. Just hate how offset it is. So you are 105.2 in that configuration. So we take that a step further and bring in, slide this over, the DMs, or out of the DMs of the substation. Something like that, something like that, something like that, although those don't actually reach, so it's kind of pointless. There. 157.2. It's not terrible. I'd go it. That is quite speedy, in fact. Imus, how you is? We got an input for water and an input for oil, like so. I suppose there's potential, actually, for me to do that. Just really crank it up a notch. And I can... That's kind of terrible. $7.2. Kind of just for consistency's sake want to do it like that. For no other reason than consistency's sake. But it's 157, because these are a much better distribution efficiency than the other ones. Well worth having them. In fact, actually do that. 159. Fortunate I can't squeeze another one in. That's as good as it's going to get. Okay, so as far as raw performance goes, let's see what this is capable of. Okay, heavy oil, water. Cancel out that. Once again, delete, paste, undo, undo to just completely nullify that. Interesting. That is very, very interesting. Actually, yeah, it's going. I was like, is it actually going? Yeah, the sounds are just broken. Okay, so this one machine is consuming 141,000, 105,000. That's a lot. In terms of light oil production, still need 429,000. So that's like 3 of these, potentially. 3 or 4. I do actually know. It says so right there, but I was thinking that 3 can actually do it quite capably. Am I looking at the right thing? Yeah, it was exactly 4.0. 429,000. So that's already outperforming it. How many has it got? 18. Oh, that's why. So if I crank that up. Yeah. That lags. 17, 18. Uh-oh, it's 20, 21. Calm down. Yeah, 2.8. It only accounts for the other thing too. But I'm probably still do 4 anyway. Yeah. Ah, excellent. You're back. And now I can do stupid things. Excellent. Just what I always wanted. More stupid things. Yeah, just so there is less intermixing and having to deal with balancing fluids. Keep it consistent. Point there-ish. That there. So this one's water. This actually merges into 8, and I'm merging down to... You got 0.33? Excellent! It's counting again. As I say, I really need, Michelle to, test his. And we can see if it actually works. Did that get Oh, yeah, I know why. Because, yeah, that should have been a lot higher than what it was, what it is. It's not been counting properly. It hasn't actually been counting for a long time correctly. I mean, I could shoot him a message if necessary. I just assume that he's been partying hard and recovering. Yeah, so what we need to do is merge these two together. Blah blah blah. Need a pump there. Need to balance these. What was the issue? There was a second connection that had to be disconnected and reconnected. That I didn't actually notice the first 2 or 3 times. And I had to do it to both accounts, both the bot and my main account. And the thing needs to be signed in with both as well. Which, interestingly, I had already done. Tried. And didn't work last time. Might I say that one? I also realised I am about to connect the wrong one. Look at that. Winning all the competitions. I wonder if that means the probability's finally fixed too. Potentially, it could be. So in theory, this could equalize itself, but I don't trust it. So what I need to do is somehow link these together. In fact, I might into each other. I've seen this. I've done this before. We've seen this before. I haven't done it in a little while. Yeah, like that. There's actually nothing stopping me from spacing these out. If I grab that, delete all that. Hello there, Monsieur Darby. Doing that there. So you link there. You link there. Link together. Those link together. Actually, those should actually be red. For Veldet? I mean, we can play. Technically, I'm not allowed to blame Veldet, because Cat said so. Yeah, and then just do like this. And then it considerably simplifies the pipes. Considerably. At the expense of a little bit more power, because there's more shared beacons, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Something like that. And then even these link up nicely. Yeah, like that. Boop. Just find a reasonably sensible place to put these. Suppose there. That is not a very good spot. Yeah, a little bit further. Oh dear. Like that, is it? Yep. Good enough for me. I mean, none of these are going to be consistent spacing, but does it really matter? Probably does. If I was to say, does it really matter? Yes. Yes, it does. It look nice and neat, don't you? Zelda getting the correct bonus. Oh, I don't think he is. Blaming Feldex, one of the core fundamentals. Yeah, I mean, there is a little bit of that. Okay. Step number deuce. Here, we need a wire. We need a combinator. Go with said wire. One substation not aligned. Oh, we can't have that. Where is I'm not seeing. Hang on. Like, I can see something funny going on there. It's definitely because it goes from 3 to 2. But why? Oh, I see. I see now. Just all of them are wrong. That's why. I was like, I can see the problem, but I can see the grid being the problem, but I couldn't see where it was a problem. It's because there was multiple as a problem. Yeah, it was 3, and then when 2 was like, why isn't this working? Yeah. The brain just didn't want a brain. I want to say we don't want to say each because this one kind of goes screwy if you say each. So you've got to specify the actual fluid. We need green. So we need the sum. Oh boy. The red wire's there. Oh, I need like a third wire. Move the right side out one and left side one. There is a 2 gap horizontal line too. I mean, I could add up one. Fine. What is it? Yeah, it is actually 3. Astonishingly, there's actually enough room to do that too. And Kiwi laser eyes at it again. Actually managed to spot that would fit. I think I just moved that up a tile too. The one on the right still misaligned a lot. I mean, that isn't really supposed to be sort of a placeholder to get power. What's his point? Finally, it's just stressing you out so hard. Yeah, I wasn't. If you meant that one, I wasn't really worried about it, because it's just a placeholder to make it work. One on the left is too high. Seems right. I mean, the whole... Just never going to get anything done, am I? Fixed it by accident. Oh, I did actually spot it and I did fix it. Because it was one high. I placed it off by a tile 10 seconds ago. 20 seconds ago. Oh dear. It's going to be one of those days. You need... Oh. Just the layers of it. Of, wanting it aligned, competing is the problem. There's a simpler and dumber way to do this. So I don't need to do the logic, because I don't want to think about logic today. Like, if I just have a dump tank in the middle, it might actually work. Because I was just looking and I was like, that might actually work. Oh boy. Yeah, if I just slide that over a tile. Actually, oh, it's heavy. Marked as heavy oil. A. B, so I can abstract them out. A. And I don't need to program them all individually, it's just A and B now. A balance pipe between the two. See, I was worried about them not balancing. That was the reason why I went down that path. It probably doesn't matter, admittedly. Because I mean, it is always going to suck from one before the other because of the... what is it? It's east, north, west, north, east, south, I think was the priority. So it'll always like pull from this one over the other one. I suppose it would equalize. Do you know what? Instead of assuming it will, how about I actually test it? That seems like a good idea, doesn't it? That's a novel idea. Instead of assuming, you should actually make sure it's a thing. Okay, okay. I know someone's going to say it. I'll do it. I'll move it over a tile again. Do. Yeah. Testing stuff? Impossible. No. It's all been tested. And it already works. It's already been done. You don't need no pie pans. Actually, no. We don't need science, we need pie pans. That's the one. Come on that again. But eliminate the substations this time. Copy, but accidentally press blueprints. I do that all the time. I mean, I did used to test stuff all the time. I'm kind of assuming because of all the testing that I did, I don't want to have to endure again. Okie day. It's not really convenient. But it's a start. Have that. Oh, cram it in any old how. Fine. Fine. It's fine. That. Don't need that. Unit of pole. Where the hell is it? There. Okay. Might as well plug this in. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, you're gonna go to unload and empty this time. Oh, there's a Veldeck. There he is. Station name. I thought I... Yeah, it's there. Not demanding because I didn't set the circuits. So I need to do that. Button. That's better. Now it's demanding. Defecating. Now you're A. Hello there, Monsieur Solowolf. B. Like that. Now we'll just wait for some heavy oil to build up. Oh yeah, just going up. I was like, is it actually going up? Yes, it is. You'll be in the office, but return home only because battery was dying quickly. Wi-Fi connection, so get dropping phone calls. Inconvenient. There's one of the rooms that I'm in is like that. It has poor phone reception and Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is generally good, but it's a big concrete cavern, which is bad for reception in general. Sometimes a phone just like start ringing and then just die, or just all drops in, never connects. Yep, million. So, not demanding, defecating. Is actually because of these. Yeah, consuming oil. Yeah, it's what did I actually look here? Yeah, 160 a minute-ish. 160 a minute. Producing 52k heavy oil a minute now. It's funny what a missing beacon does. Get some gas trains. Oh yeah, I did. I didn't respond, but yeah, I did see that you said you got the offer. So now it's all official, I assume. Who has the position? Ah, here's one. Oh, that old chestnut. So the thing where you got to actually plug the thing in. Still got to plug the thing in. Suck it dry, please and thank you. 51.48. That's equalising-ish. Now find a house. Eternal struggle. It really is. And then I can just do the same. I can push these in a little bit closer. It's 2 tiles. I can reduce it down to 1 potentially. Or I could keep it the same because then it's 2 tiles there, 2 tiles there where the substation is. I think I'll keep the spacing the same. Any house beats the current situation of no house. Generally better, yes. Yep, everything's back to normal. I don't know if you heard too, just before, but the bot's counting hours again. It's actually working. It's just good news all round, apparently. Ah, the gas train is gassing. Light oil train. 45 and 25. Kick it up a gear. Eight, 9, 40, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Darthy's got a better job. Darthy might get a house. Was that gas? There we go. Now you're going to loop around. 450 UPS. I mean, to be worried if it wasn't. Quantum peak. Game speed 100, you'd hope so. Is? The signal went yellow, that is. I mean, everything's back to normal. So what was it? Everything's up. The bot's working. Darthy's got a job. The bot is back to giving skull drummings to Spellmaster. All winning. That's just absolutely obliterating it. This is so ingredient shortage, of course. I mean, it might be capping out at 450. Alright. And paste. That. 7.2, 18. Yeah, as I say, it's always biased towards one particular direction. It probably doesn't matter. Scheme. I think what does matter is pumps, though. Just to push things out into the machine. So same thing again, but with pumps. I can just delete that. Down. Yeah, just. The reason I was grabbing this was to do the same thing, but for light oil. Light oil. A, train signal B. Light oil. Light oil unload. 1, 0 to 1. Unload, please. Okay. It should be marginally more frequent than the heavy oil train. And yes, we're going to need to pick those up. Although we are not equalizing by doing the pump now. At the very least, we are just ramming more in. Potentially you could do that. To cross-couple them. Potentially. I don't know if it's beneficial though. Alternatively, one pump in the center. And rely on suction. Generally not amazing though. Once it's away from the tank itself. Yeah, because the risk is that one of them will... No, they have to be cross-coupled. Yeah, they have to be cross-coupled. But we'll try a pump instead. In theory, it'll actually pull from this one closer to the pump. In the... let's say... That, but that. And... Got some pipes. Experiment number 2. Experiment number 2. This perform. Yeah, see, the 2-tile gap actually was beneficial to keep. Oh, and just in time. Gotta change the recipe too. Light to gas, light to gas, light to gas, and light to gas. $47, $38. Thing. 144, 129. Yeah, it's ripping right out of the closer tank. Interesting, it's not ripping out of this closer tank though. That one, it's very odd, isn't it? That one's 37.19, 36.17. What was the maximum of this? 200. 2 in million 800,000, I think. 2,000 gas. Yeah, it's sliding down still as it runs low. Really needs that booster pump. Ready for bed? Alright. It's that time. Actually a really annoying position. For fluid mechanics, it's reasonable. It is obtuse, but it follows a reasonably understandable set of rules. Yes, it just sort of chugs out of steam. Okay, so that... Yeah. Hello, water train. Just hang there for a minute, please. Thank you. As I say, like, it has the rules of the 4 cardinal directions for connections. So each different direction has a different priority associated with it. But it's not that clear cut at the same time. So yeah, the original idea I was working on to overcome this was the dump tank. As in, everything gets dumped into a single central tank. And then ejected from there. With pump. Oh, that substation's actually really annoying. It's also really annoying that I can't, like, bend a pipe around it. I mean, it could go without a pump and see how we do. Probably gonna regret it. Always one up. The tanks you pump into works well, but you need to balance the pipe or else trains can get stuck. Yeah, I need to make sure that I don't overfill the center tank. Alternatively, just do just do more center tanks. But it's not a good solution. It's a decon planet that I got the tools. You might as well use them. The reason I'm gravitating to it is I suspect it is the way to go. It's not the only way to go. It's a simple solution. Simple solution for a simple koala, one would say. Right, resume, please. And I think me trying to avoid dealing with that substation is going to... Yeah, you're right. It's only going to affect it when it gets low, but I suspect it is still going to be a bit of an issue. Oh, yeah. Again. Won't work too well without it. Can that actually push now? Excellent. Getting some oil. $6K. Oh, and you're legitimately done now. Crank it out. I mean, this is way faster as it needs to be. Trying to avoid doing your homework. Is that what we all do? Watching how stuff works until 3 AM just to avoid doing homework. I like how it's just slowly getting louder. So dumb. Yeah, now it's legitimately showing a lot of shortage. Just watch till 12 PM. Was it specifically how stuff works? It used to be a popular one. Things to watch. Yeah, and as it drops down now, it's starting to slow down. I mean, we already saw the downward trend. It's the fact that it started so far back concerns me. Oh, it was Factorio. It always is, isn't it? Ready for the next round. Rain. Let's just unplug that track for a moment. Still not convinced you need the pumps, center tanks, as long as they're fully... It's mainly just to keep everything... I really just want to eliminate that slope down. That's all I want to do. Let's have a... center tanks, we need to supply the full throughput. I mean, you are correct. Like... This all... Like, 4 of these is already... Oh... Already forgotten how much it was. But it's like a quarter more than what the target production rate is. Oh, that was actually for heavy oil. Did I mention that I'm incredibly tired? Not thing. Yeah, it only needs 3 out of 4 of the heavy oil to light oil, and 13.6. It needs to make 990,000 gas. I would assume so. Personal use. Depends if you like. Just that quantity of sulfur. Again. There. Now it's blanked out. Alright. So I want to know... the production rate. Gas. See it. Burp. Yes, it's already peeling down. That's the part that I don't like so much. So 3 of these already does it. How much is the thing though? It's consuming 360. See, that's way too fast. So yeah, probably not necessary in the sense that it's consuming like a train every 10 seconds. I think it is. I think that is. And that one's empty versus that one still has 24k. That's the reason why I wanted the center tank. The only real reason why I wanted it. I mean, so I could probably do with 4 of these and... No, not 4. I think it tails off instantly, means much faster. Yeah, as I say, it's down to something reasonable now, but it's like um 300,000 a minute input is way too much. You almost need a second or third set of unloads for that. To get the train frequency to something sensible. What was the peak? 390, no, 400. That is, they hold a 400,000, don't they? Yeah, that's peaks at 1 train a minute and tapers off. Potentially, yeah. You could always just force it, force it to go a bit slower. I know it's off by a tile too. Another unload though. I think just more builds and just overbuild the crap out of it might be the way to go. Because then it'll be bottlenecked by output. I'm collecting output then. Hmm. It's annoying problems. Oh. Make it a load. That one load. Ah, that's need that is. Throw more trains out and see what happens. Oh, this is liquid builds. I suspect the reason I'm thinking about this so much is that I suspect what I have won't work in practice. And I do tend to get caught out by oil builds. It's partly why I was avoiding it for so long. Ah, you're bottlenecked. Um. Hmm. That would actually be solved. Putting together. God knows how much is in there. 900,000. This is one of those builds that feels like it's too fast for its own good. Right, that's a train in a half a minute. I need? Yeah, so that's what I was worried about. And the only reason I was wiring the center one was just to include that in the count so that it keeps it away that's needed. Because it'll eventually all get biased to one side. Yeah. Kinda like it. That's the conclusion. It actually emptied it just in time. Yeah, yeah, you're right. It's just back to. That's why I was saying I don't like it. It's just back where it started. As I say, the build is just too fast for its own good. It's a problem with super fast builds, and it's just erratic production. And that goes back to the point before where it's too fast for its own good, so you really need more than what the calculator says. Otherwise, you just never be able to keep up. Um, yeah, just I'll drop those at least. Add more train station. The problem is that it still needs one train every minute to minute and a half, which is really frequent. Bottom. Yeah, it's just better off of artificially slowing it down. I need to revise to check, revise my understanding of what is fastest. Yeah, it just makes the rail network busier. And more trains doesn't necessarily make it faster. The simple answer is looking suspiciously like the right answer. I just do that and be done, and just call it a day. And see what the final result is. And doing refueling the trains. They're electric trains, so you actually don't. If I was super keen, don't think it's necessary. Space Expo. Thing is, like, I have like real world responsibilities. I can't just do space exploration. Right. I should also do is delete that and oh yeah, excuses. Yep, that's quite literally true. Don't worry, it's offset on purpose. That signal to align it. Oop. Can't. I had to think about that for a moment, and I was like, no, no, you don't. Can't do that. That would be bad. I have a bad time if I do it that way. the pumps don't need the balance pipe. Yeah, I imagine there'll be some weird. Well, there'll always be some weirdness, I imagine. Like, the thing I was talking about, it's not. I think I put too much emphasis on it before. It's part of how it decides it, but it's there's a lot of stupid. It's actually too bad there isn't a second input here. If there was like 4 inputs, I could actually use the individual water inputs to go to each tank. Conceivably. Might be too hard. Alpha. They said alpha base gaming. I mean, it's close enough. Coming in that. Yeah, like now I'm starting to get a little wonky. Want these together. Have it. There. Then somehow, by some means, maybe like, this is starting to get into real. I don't normally do stuff like that because it gets genuinely into desperation territory. But something like that, just dump all 4 tanks into one tank. Downside though is you're actually losing storage. Potentially back that. Yeah, as I say, it's getting into desperation territory. Oh, I was like, how do the substations all miss the tanks? It's because they align with the bottom. Making me want to move it down tile. I'm definitely going to regret that. In like a minute's time. Okay, it is like 1k. Large batch of fluids is not a bad thing in Factorio. It helps average out. Yeah, it works surprisingly well. It's actually where my mind was at with Central Tank. Is it's sort of a it uses its capacity to absorb the output and then equalizes out from there. Ideally, you would actually have these touching though. Do something really stupid. You'd like actually gotta do it, but have it alternating. Just have it circulating around. I mean, it's got enough for a train. So need the train up here. Probably be a good idea. Eh, whatever. Mid. Mid. They shouldn't reach that far. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep. you. No, that was right. Uh, ah, that makes sense. The opportunity to completely delete the circuit network from it. That. Comment. 44, 118. I mean, it's not perfect, but it seems to be holding steady. Keeping its own. Output full. Thing. I mean, it's nearly an entire tank's difference, but they're already big of. No, these are only regular fluid wagons. Sort of. We'll see. The big fluid wagons are actually kind of stupid. No, they weren't. It's yes, it brings it back to the old standard. I was thinking of the Factorio extended ones, which legitimately are a little bit silly. Back to work, alrighty. Have a good day. Take a minute. Best way to express how work feels. Amount of beaconage, there's a balance point where you might as well give each plant its own adjacent tank. Yeah, I mean, these beacons are enough such that you need, or you can reach a single tick per craft. So you need to sort of work around that. Possibly you might need to link the... or between the two tanks is the only point where there should be an imbalance. Worst case scenario, the train just sits there and it slowly equalizes out. Hasn't really drifted out. I have a feeling I'm going to be revisiting this one a lot, but I might just lay it down as it is. And I do intend on putting down way more than necessary. So like 2.5, I think 2 3/4 of these builds is kind of enough. But if I put down 4 of them, which is twice what's needed, okay, that'll slow everything down. Like, it means it'll just always be supplied. Or ready to supply. Oh, you're right. Oh. Well. An output pump to pressurize the line. Yeah, I might... That'd be the difference in capacity that does that. Also a combination of the speed of the machine. Oh, Wheelbase twice and hope it survives past the S limit. Yeah, pretty much. Alright. I think that is good enough. The overall concept, at least. Concept has a place. I'm still not convinced of it. I might need to... This might be one of those things where I come up with it tomorrow afternoon. I'm supposed to be working. Alright. In theory... Another one of these. Much simpler one. It makes lubricant. You only need like one machine to do that, I think. Because that only goes into electric engines. Technically belt as well, but mostly electric engines. What is it? 0.6. By making 4 do it is a little bit excessive. Teeny bit excessive. This one reasonably could be single unit in the middle, and then I just rely on pumps to equalize out the rest. Going back to the thing I was doing before. I suppose I could do that as well to this, equalize the whole lot. My current building philosophy has all been about not balancing outputs, but end of the world. Gonna be in the way. You can actually like push it to one end. Play. I could just push it. It's like over here. Doesn't really matter where the build is. Room to cram a pump in. Again, pretty much unnecessary. Pipe full. Shouldn't I should put these in the center. Someone just gets absolutely uh hmm. That's why. Not working. One pump per tank? Likely. It's just the something to balance the tank output as the output pump. In. Green wire doesn't need to be there. Get rid of the green wire. Well, I do technically need the green wire. But, I want to... Oh dear. Guess I will be moving it over a tile. That reaches. Get how to do this one, because it's a bit weird. issues. Oh, issue. Well, eh? Right. Da. Less than 0. That combinator. A -8. Because there's 8 tanks. And then the individual is there. Heavy oil unload. No water. None of that crap. Resting heavy oil. One, excellent, excellent, excellent. Alrighty, just need an output now. Technically, same thing. Maybe a little something to push it out a little bit quicker. Why not? Good enough for now. Let's just see what happens. No. Let go. One of those. Not that. But yes, you are. I'm kind of curious to see what happens now. Let's see. Oh, that's gas. Somewhere. Yep, there it is. Of course, nothing could also happen. Outputting negative 50k. Greater than 0. Seeing. Greater than equal to 0. Less than equal. Oh, yeah, anything doesn't work with zeros. There goes most of it. when greater than 0. Yeah, so when it's low, it's more negative than positive. Those are pulsing to bring themselves down. Bring themselves down in unison. This one is always on. It is the most zonked. Naturally, it's it's going to slowly flow down. Naturally. No, things to deal with. Won't explain. Up tomorrow, alrighty. Okay. Have a good rest of the night, Mr. Darcy. Yeah, and they've equalised out now. It's, I do like the fluid equalizer, fluid balancer. It's kind of an obtuse one to make. How much does that make? 107,000 a minute. How much do I need? 41. Like, nearly 3 times as what's necessary. There. Finish it off. Need to do the same thing. So we plug all these in again. Oh. And I think because it's a low, the opposite direction, this is less than or equal to 0. I think. Don't quote me on that. The main thing is it's less than or equal to. Yes. Yeah, less than or equal to. And for the fluid weirdness. 40. Yeah, and it needs to get up to 40. Pretty fast. $50, $45, yeah, so it'll take... yeah, well, they all should equalize. Right there too. Actually, there's a pipe between all of them. Which would have been copy and pasted between them, admittedly. Who's there to equalize these down? Trying to beat the game, or are you trying to go for... so I'm going to try and go for 5,400 signs a minute, which is one of these purple belts. And as far as modifiers go, I don't normally do expensive recipes. So there's nothing like that. The main thing is it's just doing the signs a minute using Factorio 2. The fun that comes with calculating all this stuff out. Fun and or joy. What about that? Down to 1.3, 1.4, 1.6. Can push through. Seven. Still. 238,000 lubricant. $81, 57. Okay, so these are toggling on. There's one downside to the average is that those will still turn on. These lowest ones are full. Yeah, because as the average goes up, it turns them back on. Not really an easy around it. I think I could do here. Anything I could do? Tank. Thinking before, but it needs to be like out here, otherwise it gets in the way of the beacon. Not that a beacon really matters. It might be turning off for like a tick. Impossible to tell. Seems to be flowing. Okay. Not any great loss. That actually seems to have sped it up. No, not really. Actually slowed it down. Not that it really matters. It is still nearly 3 times more than what it needs to be. I don't know why I'm really stressing over it. Down just a teeny tiny bit. Easily will. Pulled it down a few K. 10, 110, 92, 11, 11. Yeah, they're coming into agreement. As soon as this one settles down. Pretty cool to see it coming into alignment. Seven. 10, so 7 out. Out. Four out. Pretty much there. There it is. Agreement. 4 to 26. That starts pulsating. Latch in. I mean, that's just busy. I'm just avoiding doing anything more at this point. The main thing is lubricant good. Done. Sure. That is the concepts for heavy to light and light to gas done. Mineral water. Oh, that's right. Goes into the lithium chloride and the nitric acid. Means I need a way to make ammonia, I think. Yeah, ammonia. Conveniently, it's only 1.8 machines as well, and then 2.5 nitric acid machines. 81.5. Oh, that's right. This already? Yeah. Did actually do a full beacon deal already. Ridiculous. Two of these, fully beacon, fully moduled. Say. 3.3k a minute, and we need 91, 92. Uh, 28. Which is an improvement, so the calculator is off. I mean, it is incorrectly beaconed. I think it says 14, and oh no, that is less. But it also doesn't, it only assumes the singularity beacons. It doesn't assume it doesn't account for the other beacon. So it's not so bad. Question is, where do I do the acid components? Where do I make the gas, the condensators? So, I mean, we were talking about last time, make this thing self-contained, so the oil moving around between the builds can maintain within the builds, it doesn't need to come out and go back in. And I believe that is true for all of them. It's like gas doesn't need come out. Gas went to because gas went to plastic and sulfur. So the plastic, as I was saying, can go down the bottom, either side or something, and then the sulfur above it. And even then, the sulfur only goes into sulfuric acid. So it's essentially a sulfur to sulfuric acid build one. And the sulfuric acid, I can find it, is 1.8 machines. So it's like 3.1, 1.8. Like not a lot. Probably steal one of these. Something like that. We say sulfur. And some of that. Get another one. Out here somewhere. I love how underdeveloped this map is compared to the actual map. No idea where it's. Place another one. I pressed escape, but I did. Yes. It's very full. You make that stuff. Oh yeah, you need iron plate. That's kind of annoying. Actually, Turn it on its head. Just brrr. It's done. One hundred 31. Okay. Power. Water. Gonna get interesting. I don't know how that's gonna happen. But yeah, acid goes out. Acid low. That's. And by orientating it this way, I can keep everything isolated. Take iron plate. I think those. Oh. Funny. I was assuming. Tiles. I have no idea. Whatever. Don't know. I don't know why that. Oh, I know why. The water pipe. Speaking of water pipes. Well, that's 100,000 a minute right there. Need 600,000 though. Actually borderline absurd. Like that time. Oldak's favourite time. Maxed out your item ingredients footage now. Go. 179,000. I feel like this is one of those situations where it really should be on a lake. Hopeful, yeah. Still output. There now. Ingredient shortage. Water again. How stupid can these numbers get? I think 180 is a hard cap. This is only one build too. Like, this is still only one build. So, what does that give us? 100k. So that's 400k if I was to make one build out of it. Or 800 for what do I limit it to build? And do similar story like what I did for lubricant. That might be the way to go. And again, in fact, I whack the microphone. I think this might be more the way to go, this sort of arrangement. Single one or two. Just have more, like a single one and have more of them. instead of trying to spam. That might be the way to go. I mean, getting the iron in, however, could be a problem. Yeah. Well, I think my brain's done for the day. Right. So at least got a concept for that. And I just need a way to merge down many iron plates in it. Let's make sure it is actually 0. Yeah. Like 1.4k a minute, I could probably unload the train into a single warehouse. Potentially. I don't think there's room though. 12 in 16, like that. And like, and just empty the entire train into a single warehouse. It's the downside to. It's the reason why I'm a bit weary of, and I have done it before, using the massive storage containers in the game, is that they really trivialize logistics, and it's just an easy solution. It does slow down the train unload, however. Have the octopus system. This thing here. Yeah, that's right. It does actually. Oh, it unloads into 4, but it can actually unload into 1. Like, instead of having 4 containers, I just have 1 in the center. Whatever. Actually, have to be in the center. So it fills up these containers, unloads the train, gets rid of it in a hurry, and then equalizes out at the main container. So what I'm thinking, this is a bit of a crazy idea. Something like that. Instead, suppose I would have it biased a little bit that way. Eight. About there. Six. This is literally what I did with the merge chests. Just who needs a balancer when you can have a 64-way merge chest? Seven really matters. Four. Then be in the middle, ideally. Of course it isn't, but I can just put those over a tile such that I then pretend that it is. There. Lamb. So yeah, something like that. For the iron plate. And even then, it doesn't hugely matter if these back up a little. Oh, this is so massive, like like 100K, something like that. Actually, remember 100K. Oh, there is actually an example in the main save there, where the antimatter is. That is, yeah, I think it is 100K for stacks of 200 from memory. Eh, well, that's what we're thinking. Probably 4 of these 100. It's gonna be fluid limited, I think. It's also sort of leaning on having water trains coming in, but I don't think that's a good idea now. There's gonna be a lot of water trains, unless I make the water trains use the big fluid wagon. Sort of. Say I sort of don't want to use it because I don't like using things that just add density. How much the size of balance it? Yeah, pretty much. But at the same time, the fluid wagon just makes up for the fact that there's no alternative capacity because these are all cranked up to like 200. Different button of the blueprint, yeah. Pretty much. Right. Water and gas comes in the top. Or water comes in the bottom and gas comes in the top. I almost regret filling in the entire lake. I suppose I could undo that. I was so inclined. Here somewhere. That. Actually, I think it's going to be off by a tile. Close. Oh, is it? There it is. Yeah. Off by a tile. Funny if it still doesn't keep up. Surprise me though. Okay, now I need that line in. Just my own velocity now. Switching back out, just do landfill that way. Built off by a tile. Now it's right. Now it actually looks right. It's actually limited by the because the pumps on this are a an assembly machine. So it's actually more limited by the pumps now. That's funny. I didn't expect that. Oh dear. These are actually quicker. And even then, it's still a fluid ingredient shortage. Oh no, it's an item. Because this is running. Oh. That would help. Oh, it's actually 145 now. Water will always be the bottleneck with acid. It is just the way of the game. And as I say, these are so stupidly quick. I think the answer is to just have one per build and have however many builds necessary to get the 600 something thousand going. They'll be slow, yes, but it'll at least tame these horses a little bit. Anyway, that is it for me. It is time.